afternoon, South African. A very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express. My name is Jeannie D.
And I'm Bonnie Booley. Hope you had a lovely weekend. Thank you so much for joining us.
I was just about to wish you a happy Mother's Day for yesterday.
I know.
Did you have the best day?
Well, I got like little cards in bed and handmade cards, and I got like a bit of a coffee in bed. And then like 30 minutes later, I was asked, "Where's our breakfast, Mommy?" So, so I'm not at that place where I'm being spoilt yet. But Bay spoilt me, which is nice.
This is why I love being the fairy godmother, because I was so spoiled yesterday. And I didn't even have to clean up after them. It was the best thing. All I had to do was leave. Leave the children behind.
Leave them with their moms. Also, we'd just like to take a moment to send our condolences to the family of Mandla Khwashayo, who was murdered brutally. And you know, and it's interesting because it's coming on the back of this conversation about the prevalent deaths of women and children in this country. And he was actually killed
by
their intimate partners. Yeah. Apparently, it happens every 8 hours. And Mandla was actually protecting a woman who was being assaulted. So he was murdered while doing that. So may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So today we're joined by Uzalo actress Sihle Ndaba. We're joined by Sihle Ndaba. You might remember her from Idol Season 8, but after that she was catapulted into national fame with Uzalo.
Now, Uzalo is actually possibly one of the biggest shows in the country at the moment. Do you know that they have over 8 million viewers every single evening?
Absolutely.
So we're looking very forward to chatting to her and finding out more about this inspiring actress.
All right, so in the Afternoon Express kitchen today, however, we're going to do this. Clem, just go like with this movement with you. 1, and 2, and 3. Yes, we're getting ready for a festival in the Afternoon Express loft kitchen today because there is so much food on the show today, and it's so good to have you with us today. We thought it was Monday. This whole weekend's been done and dusted. We wanted to cram as much food as we could on a Monday because you know how much you guys love the recipes on Afternoon Express. So later on in the show, we'll be showing you a little insert of where I went to go and visit Soweto and to visit these guys called the Kotas Kings. They obviously make these delicious kotas. I know if you're a big fan of Gatsby's and sort of what's Bunny Chow and Durban, and then Joburg's got their kota. Yeah. So I'll find out about the entrepreneurial journey behind these gentlemen, and oh my word, what a story. We also tried some of the best kotas in Soweto. So that's coming up later on in the show. But right here in our loft kitchen, however, 2 recipes, 2 kitchens. What are we doing? Exactly. So we're going to start with a beautiful beef stew with a savory rice. It's going to be so good. You're helping me. Yummy. And then something very, very, I want to say almost meat-free. Not really. You'll see we did a nice veggie lasagna, but we're going to serve it with chicken. It's going to be absolutely delicious. And it's one of those really cool deals that Woolies has got running in terms of eat in for under 200 Rand or whatever. We're going to show you how to make that ingredient for more than just 4 people on your table. So make sure you stay tuned for all the cooking on Afternoon Express. And with all the food that we're making today, you'll need an appetite like a lion. And speaking of, our first guest today, Sihle Ndaba, started her career on stage in the musical version of The Lion King. She then went on to take part as a contestant on the 8th season of Idols, and even though she didn't make it to the finals, she didn't let it stop her from succeeding. And after a number of appearances on various TV shows, she can now be seen every weeknight on SABC1's best loved telenovela Uzalo as the beautiful Smangele.
Whoa, Smangele cool. Sakuphelile sis. Njengofisha ushana amanzi.
Ayikho into ephelile. Ngilahlele omunye umuntu empilweni yami.
Ngiyacela Smangele ungayenzi lento leSmangele. Smangele ngani yami ngiyacela wehlisa umoya. Ungayenzi lento Smangele ngiyacela. Lalela, batshele bamila ngizokhuluma naye. Hamba ukhuluma naye. Ngiyanja ngiyasondela.
Ngasondela Zweli. Ngasondela. Zweli ungasondeli.
Smangele ngiyacela ngani yami. Sifami ngiyacela. Uyazi izinto esedlulele zona seziningi kakhulu. Udadewethu ngiyakuthanda Smangele.
Wow, riveting stuff.
Yo, Sihle, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much for
I just
having
want to
me.
know, is that a real baby?
Yes, that was a real baby. Yeah.
Wow.
What if you had slipped over that?
No, there was no way. There was no way because I only had the baby just before I went on the other side of the ledge. So my brother on the show takes the baby just before. It's so funny. She's such a great actress.
She was quite peaceful.
She slept on the second day.
She was unmoved by anything.
She was like, okay. I think she was so used to working with me because we've been together for like 3 months. We shot for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet man.
Yeah, she's lovely.
So where did your journey as an actress begin?
High school. I used to do the musicals, but I used to be like the broom or the teacup right at the back. Right at the back. Nobody saw me, nobody cared, but I used to be right at the back. But I just never gave up. I just never gave up. I refused.
Okay, but listen, starting off as the broom and the teacup, and then you studied a tut, but then you ended up as Nala in The Lion King.
I was the cover. I was the cover, Nala.
Oh.
Okay.
But you still got to go to Singapore.
Yes.
I mean, what was that like? I mean, it's literally For me, the fantasy of traveling with a musical theatre production is even better than traveling with a circus.
You look gorgeous.
Than a circus.
Yeah, I mean, how magical is that experience?
It was amazing. It was amazing. But I think I was like 21 in a strange country without your parents for the first time. I was scared. I was nervous. And it's such a big show. It's Disney. You're working for Disney. How much bigger does it get? So I was very nervous, but I was excited at the same time because it was a big dream of mine and still is. I need to play Nala again.
And the experience of being in Singapore?
Culture shock. Culture shock, because there's not a lot of black people around. So for the first 3 months, people used to take pictures with us. And
so people come touch your hair and your skin.
It was so weird. They'd want to touch you and you're just like, why are you doing
Why is this
that?
happening?
I've got a friend who's really tall, and whenever he travels to Asia, just millions of photographs because he's so tall. And he's like regular South African tall. It's not like he's actually really tall.
So then you returned home and then you entered Idols.
Yes.
So was it for you okay, so I can act and I can sing and I'll pursue whichever one presents
triple threat,
opportunities, right?
Yeah, well, Idols, I don't even remember how Idols happened. I really was just trying my luck.
Yeah, or was it about just getting in front of people who could...
I was auditioning for quite a lot of stuff and people were like, nobody knows you, bruh. It's going to be hard for you to get work because producers don't want to take a risk on somebody that's unknown because there's no reputation, there's nothing, to hold on to. So they were like, maybe you should try this Idols thing. I was like, yo, guys, but it's a lot of pressure because it's also live shows and you have to really perform.
Yeah.
I did my first audition and it went well and top 16, I was like, wow, okay.
But hadn't the fear gone away, I think, from Lion King?
It's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah.
TV and theatre are completely different because with Idols, every single time you need to reinvent yourself, you need to come out fresh and it's live, it's television. Theatre, you stick to the script, you stick to the choreography, you stick to the music, can't go wrong. So and it's scripted, so there's a lot more security in that because you can always hide behind a character, but when it's you, now it's Sihle, you can't say, oh no, I was misquoted.
Wow.
Be careful what you say on this show then.
You see what I mean?
What first went through your mind when you were reading the character that you now play on Uzalo before your audition for everything?
Funny story, when I auditioned, I didn't even know what I was auditioning for because literally it was an open call.
Was it a thing yet? It wasn't even
even a thing. We didn't even know that with our first episode we'd have 5 million viewers. We had no idea. We had no idea. We just auditioned for the show. It was going to be on SABC1. They were looking for singer actors or actor singers. So I was really thrilled because I was like, I'm going to be on screen, I'm going to act, and I'm going to get to sing. I'm in.
Awesome.
So yeah.
When was that moment of realization that this was a huge show and this was supposed to be the biggest break?
Season 1. After season 1, my mom and I were going on holiday and we were at the airport and this lady came running behind me and she's screaming, Smangele, Smangele. I'm like thinking, okay, this is weird, but okay, hi. And then she says she's not even from South Africa. She was from, I think, Zimbabwe or something like that. So the show is quite big, not just locally, but it's big in other countries as well because people watch it on YouTube as well. So people in the States are watching the show, people in London are watching the show. So it's a big deal. I was like, wow, this is huge.
What do you think is making it such an incredible show?
It's the story. It's the story. I mean, we're shooting in KwaMashu, so a lot of the locations that you see, it's not just studio. We're in studio for the interiors, and then exteriors we shoot on location. KwaMashu is a character as well, so it's not just about the characters. The characters are unique. It's full-on Zulu, and people love that. Now we're introducing some more Nguni languages and some more, I think one of the latest actors is Tswana. So it's beautiful. I think it's because it's a South African story told by South Africans. I think that's what makes it very unique. And Durban and KwaMashu is a character on its own. So you see it set on a backdrop and it's really there all the time.
Yeah, we're going to need subtitles though so that I can follow it until I'm fluent.
Yeah,
Bonnie
we do
is
have
teaching
subtitles.
me.
Yeah, you should.
Jeannie Mabonengdi, I'm there. It's happening. But you're not going anywhere. We've got you for the whole show. You're staying with us. And right at the end, we're going to cook you a fabulous dinner. Now, we're busy asking you on social media today that if you could create a dramatic TV series like Uzalo about your life, how would you describe it in one sentence? How would you describe
How would I
yours?
describe my life? Drama. Just drama.
Oh, my
Just
word.
drama.
I'm going to have to think about mine because it's got to be something good. How would you describe yours?
Fix it, Jesus.
Not today, Satan. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Well, Iketeng says dramatic, sadness, inspiration, and romantic used to drama at school. Then Nodamiso Buyisile Mazibuko says she's phenomenal and just an amazing actress. Well, there you go. Esther Mwani Makotla Lane says inspiring, dramatic, and yet easy to relate to. Okay, good for you. Thank you so much for all of your questions and comments. More coming up a little bit later. All you need to do is comment on our Facebook page at Afternoon Express.
And one other way you guys can get hold of us on the show today is using the hashtag Afternoon Express on Twitter. Let's keep the conversation going on all the social media platforms. We love hearing from you. Speaking about all those genres, how about we send you off with a bit of suspense? We'll see you after the break.
Make Mother's Day blissful. Lindor from Lind.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're discussing everything today with Sihle on the couch. A beautiful, beautiful superstar. So tell us, I mean, the show started off as a telenovela, which in my opinion, I always thought that was just a Spanish soap opera, but it isn't.
No.
And now it's become a soapy.
Yeah. So initially it was supposed to end because
Yeah.
the telenovela, the structure of the show is a beginning, middle, and an end.
Yeah.
So we started off with the story of these two boys switched at birth. The one is being raised by a gangster, but actually they birthed by a pastor, and vice versa. So at the end of the season, everybody wants to find out if they'll ever find out that they were switched at birth and what will happen to boys. So
Yeah.
that's literally season 1. But it was popular, 8.5 million viewers.
Yeah, that's a lot of viewers.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
how
huge.
do you cancel a show like that?
That's bigger than Generations.
Yes. Please say that
Look at your
again.
face. Yes.
Spice,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Spicy. To be
No,
honest,
congratulations.
Thank you. Well, to be honest, we wouldn't. I think they also contribute because they're on at 8 and we're on at 8:30. So
Okay.
you know,
Yeah,
we're one
yeah,
big family.
Absolutely.
Okay, but now I want to know about your characters. Sorry, because I haven't watched, and I'm dying to know. No, I'm going to watch now.
I hope so.
I'm going to watch now. It's just, I'm an SABC3 girl. Okay, so I want to know a bit about your character.
Smile is the church girl. So this was very shocking for not just the audience at home, but also for myself. Because when we were cast, I was just supposed to be the church girl, the quiet one, the unassuming one, pretty much like the broom and the teacup. but then now, you know, life happens while you're busy making plans, and that's exactly what happened with her. She is the head of a child-hated household. So the parents are dead, so it's just her and her brother. And then she falls in love with the wrong one, and thinks she's pregnant. I think it was a phantom pregnancy of some sort. And then the guy was like, okay, so you're pregnant and I'm a pastor, so I'm going to marry you. So now, girl finds out she's...
marriage.
Yeah, well, she loved him. I guess it was enough for her.
Ooh,
I mean, you look incredible.
Thank you.
That is beautiful. Like, I want a traditional wedding if I could wear that outfit.
Speaking of falling in love with the wrong one,
Yes.
that seems to be the plight of many girls in South Africa who end up with partners who murder them. And that is the national conversation that cannot be avoided at this stage.
Yeah.
And you're part of an initiative with the First Lady, Listen to the Girl Child.
Yes.
How do those kind of issues factor into the kind of work that you do?
Well, you know, with her, she encourages us to speak to the young girls because they look up to people like us in the public eye, which is a lot of responsibility. You know, so like for this past Saturday, we had a dialogue with them and we were just talking about the issues that they're facing, and it's so crazy how many things are happening in our communities. So she opens up the dialogue, she asks about what's happening in their lives, and then we see and we find solutions together, because sometimes I know the solution, but I can't help myself. So if I find somebody that has what I need, now we're talking a different language. So, you know, like having those kind of conversations help a lot, because a lot of girls can't even speak up about being abused. You know, so having...
The majority of girls being abused can't speak up. I mean, that's the sad thing about it, is because if you're being abused by somebody who's your financer or your blesser or your benefactor, where do you go?
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's even your uncle or your dad or your stepdad. It's crazy.
And apparently women are killed more by people they know.
No, yeah. The statistics are crazy. So, you know, to have foundations like that are really incredible. I think it's making a very huge difference. I mean, we just need to keep on going and make sure that it gets to other communities as well.
Absolutely.
But also those conversations can't only just be for women. I feel like men have to be having those conversations as well.
Absolutely.
It's a whole societal conversation that needs to change.
It can't be one-sided, because as much as, yes, we are the victims, but if we don't fix the cause, because I think we're also not looking into how do we get here? How did we get here?
Yeah.
So maybe if we looked at it in that way, maybe we would find better solutions, I guess.
Yeah, and then, I mean, there's also that people are tackling the issue that men then come out defensively and say, not all men. And then, you know, then the conversation derails.
Yeah, but then how many men call out other men for behaving badly?
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, it's a tricky one, but we'll have to just keep on plowing through, I guess.
Speaking of not all men, what's happening in the love life department?
Oh, dear. It is so dry. Like, nothing is happening in my love life.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you.
Can Jesus fix it, please?
I told you. Fix it, Jesus. No, I'm very single, but I'm loving it. I'm working on some really important things right now, and I think there's never been a better time for me to just focus.
Because you're busy. I think working on a show like this, I think there's very little time for you.
12 hours a day, 5 to 6 times.
Yeah.
5 to 6
not
days a week.
6 days a week, 12 hours a day. Jeez, and we complain, Bonnie.
Absolutely. I don't know. You complain. You and Danilo complain. I'm kidding. But I mean, did a lot of you actors have to move from other parts of the country to Durban, or is it largely a Durban cast, a Durban-based cast?
Well, yes. A majority of the cast are from Durban, even if they weren't based in Durban at the time we were cast, but they are from there originally. But then there are people like me who are originally from Mpumalanga. And then I moved to Johannesburg because that's where the work is. And then
you moved to Durban.
To Durban, yeah.
Lovely. Durban's amazing.
I love it.
There's never winter there.
I love it.
What a pleasure.
It's beautiful.
And I quickly have to know, because we did have the First Lady here on the show, and we had such a wonderful afternoon with
She's
her.
incredible.
That we convinced her to be besties with us. What's your relationship like with her?
I only met her for the first time on Saturday. I was starstruck. I couldn't.
She's great, eh?
There's something about she's
so
got
graceful,
exactly,
so smart,
and so chilled. There was no airs and graces about her. She was just very good. Yeah,
she's
I was very impressed with her.
She's just being.
Yeah. So we're asking you, if you get to write a telenovela or a very famous soap opera about your life, what would you want to call it? And Nobody's answering that question. In fact, everybody's just telling us how much they love you.
Absolutely.
So Nodamiso is saying she's phenomenal and just an amazing actress. Muffy J. Joe says she's humble and beautiful. Noliswa says, oh, she's beautiful and humble and down to earth. Everybody's just going
loving
cray for you today. Thank you so much for all of your comments.
Oh man, it's so cool to hear from you guys every single day. That's the whole point of us being live on SABC3. We love hearing from you. You can also tweet us, #Afternoon Express. You can find our handle, Afternoon Chat. Give us a little bit of a follow and tweet us throughout the show today. Let's keep the conversation happening. After the break, it's all about the food and Mother's Day. Obviously, yesterday was the big day. We got to follow some youngsters. They shared some incredible stories about their moms and treated them to a special surprise. Stay tuned.
Get a taste of the smooth life and you could win big when you buy Tropica. Follow the entry details on your Tropica bottle and stand a chance to win daily airtime prizes, a weekly giveaway of an experience with a Tropica Island of Treasure contestant, Sunglass Hut vouchers, Daniel Klein watches or LG home appliances. You could also win the grand prize of a brand new Kia Sportage. T's and C's apply on tropica.co.za. There's nothing smoother than winning with Tropica. Don't forget to watch Tropica Island of Treasure Seychelles every Monday at 7:30 on SABC3.
So, welcome back to Afternoon Express. Mother's Day was yesterday, and I hope you guys treated your mom to something special. In the build-up to this Mother's Day, we joined a young lady by the name of Jessie Thompson on a school roadshow, where the learners didn't hold back in telling us how special their moms are. Take a look. What's an exclamation before take? It's so good to have you back with us on Afternoon Express live on SABC3. Now, Mother's Day was yesterday, and I hope that you guys managed to treat your moms to something so special. In the build-up to this Mother's Day that we just had, we joined a young lady by the name of Jessie Thompson on a school roadshow where the learners didn't hold back in telling us how special their moms are.
After a long day at school, my mom makes me feel happy and cheers me up.
She always tries her best to come to all my sporting events and drop me off where I need to be.
And most of the time she thinks that I don't appreciate her, but I really do, and I really love her a lot.
And sometimes it's hard because she's a single woman and she's only looking after me.
She's my world. She's everything. She does everything in her power just to see a smile on me and my brother's face.
She's so amazing. She's always able to support the family and make us so happy, and I just love her so much.
Oh, really special messages, honestly. The learners didn't just talk about their supportive and amazing moms, they also wrote about them too. One learner, Chantal Mkonzas, wrote this. She says, "My mom is my best friend, and despite being a single mom, she's always there to support me and provide for me. Every Sunday we have Recap Sundays where we cook and spend quality time together." What a beautiful message, and such a great time for you guys to spend together. Now, with the help of McCain, Chantal surprised her mom with a special Recap Sunday meal.
My name is Chantal, and we're here today because I wanted to surprise my mom and show her how much I love her and thank her for whatever she has done for me. My mom is like my hero. I don't know how I can explain it. She's done so many things in her life so she can provide for me. She has sacrificed a lot for me. My mom is like the best mom I could ever want. A Recap Sunday is when my mom and I sit and then cook our favorite food and then like catch up because during the week she's busy. So on Sundays she doesn't work and we talk about everything. My mom's favorite meal is beef stew. So today I'm going to make beef stew for my mom with McCain spinach and McCain butternut. Through all the hard things that my mom and I have been through, she's still a rock. She's never crumbled ever one day. And that's why I wanted to thank my mom, and I just want to thank McCain for helping me to make this possible. So I think she's gonna be really surprised, and I don't think she believed that I'm the one who did this. She's gonna think maybe it's my older sister or someone else. We had to write our essays, and then they read it and then they chose mine. Yeah.
Oh, so you wrote about what? About food? About what?
No, about you. We had to write about our moms and the little things that they do for us and everything.
Thank you, Jesus, for everything. You give us this every day, even if before we ask. In Jesus' name, amen. Until something like this happened, I think she's grown too fast for me. It's between Chantal and her sister. It's like 24 years. So she came late. But then we just that close. I talk anything to Chantal. Mama, I know it's hard, but thank you. Stay strong. Love, Chantal. So to have a surprise like this, which I don't know, I don't get. Well, we talk about anything.
My mom is like my comfort pillow. My mom is like always the rock I can cry on.
Just like making her strong, just in case one day I'm not there for her. So she knows that if mom won't be proud about it, don't do it. Thank you, man.
There's just something so special about a homemade stew. It always reminds me of sort of family gatherings and all the good feelings that come with that. But something tells me that Clem's found a way to make it happen a lot quicker than, your traditional stews, which I remember my poor old father slaving for hours and hours and hours over chopping, potting. Too long.
And that's the thing, we'll cut the prep time down to like almost nothing.
Great.
So it still takes us time to like cook slowly and develop those flavors, but we're not going to be like hunched over chopping vegetables all day. McCain's done all of that for us. So let's get started. So Dan, can you get your pot on a medium heat for me, please?
I can do that for you. You've got some olive oil in here, I see.
A little bit of olive oil in there already. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to... Here comes the first amazing part. No tears today. You're going to go straight into the pot with that. And how amazing. Each bag has 2 onions in there already. And you just go in, just add it in there. And that's going to start cooking already.
And honestly, the best part about this is you got none of that sort of garlic smell or that onion smell on your fingers, which is the best.
It is. And like we said, normally with a stew, the hardest part is the fact of all the prep that goes into it. Talking about the garlic, can you go in with the garlic?
Well, should I just stir this up for a bit? Just
go for it, please, yeah.
Evenly done.
So, in with the onions.
Garlics.
Garlic.
Cool, that can go inside. So this we want to get to a really nice simmer, get that to reduce quite nicely. You'll get the sort of caramelization of those onions and
The
all that
sweetness will
sweet
come out.
flavor. Yeah.
So we're doing a beef stew, so obviously we're going to need some beef. And what amazing, it's just been cubed ready for us, so no extra chopping, everything's been done. Dan, that can go straight into the pot, and you can start browning that off with the onions.
Cool.
And I adding it like this because you get the oniony, garlicky flavor on the meat as well.
I love
really
that.
delicious.
The meat does absorb all the flavors. What cut of meat have you used?
That's actually just a piece of chuck.
Okay, cool.
But you can use anything like a brisket, you can use some shin, that'll be amazing in there. Just don't go and use the fillet, okay?
Honestly, if you're feeling fancy, can't you just throw a fillet in there?
No.
A filet?
No, definitely not. And then I've got some tomatoes. This is just tin tomatoes, also really great in it to build on flavor.
Cool.
In you go.
That all goes in there. And you've got the whole peeled tomatoes, right?
Absolutely. Keep it simple. Cool. In goes some beef stock. And Dan, I just want to say, have you picked up that I'm not doing anything? This is all you.
I'm liking this. I feel like
all you.
One of the things that I've always found that people always ask me when I obviously leave Afternoon Express is like, do you ever try these recipes at home? And sometimes I have to say like, no, because I never get a chance to actually see what it was like. I'm just so used to like watching Clem do it all, so to be able to do it myself now actually helps.
There we go.
It's my first stew I've ever made, actually. First time in my life.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So what you're going to do now before it starts simmering is you actually want to add a little bit of salt to it.
Okay.
And season. You always season in layers.
Cool.
Look at that. Looking amazing.
I like seasoning.
There we go.
Particularly this molten salt is the best.
So that's going to come up to a simmer. You can see it's already starting to simmer now. We're going to reduce the heat slightly, and that's going to start cooking on its own now. So
Delicious.
It is. It smells so amazing.
So what should I do?
You can pop a little lid on it.
Cool. So just pop this on here.
Perfect. So let's get straight onto our sides now.
Should I make some space for you?
Absolutely. So helpful.
I know.
So let's start off with our beautiful butternut mash. And really easy. Can I grab that big bowl from you?
Sure, this one.
What I love about this, I kept it so local. They actually added cinnamon to it just to like get that extra South African flair. Perfect. So there we go. Can I get that red bowl?
Sure. This will probably fit it in nicely. It's a nice
There we
portion.
go.
Oh, yum.
Like
so
that.
last time you made us, the spinach also came in a really nice, like sort of format like this. Did you just pop that in the microwave or what?
And you know what that's amazing for? Portion control. So you can actually control how much you want, and the rest just go seal up and back in the freezer.
Great.
Easy peasy. So now, savory rice, and here's a big time saver. Normally savory rice takes you like up to 45 to like an hour to actually make. Everything's been done for you. The hardest part is just flexing that arm to get the microwave open.
And obviously, when it comes to these sort of things, convenience is always key, especially when you're trying to make like a dish like a stew. Do all of these while you're waiting for your stews to kind of simmer.
Exactly. So these can go to the microwave at the same time together, about 3 minutes, and just stopping in between just to give it a quick stir.
Okay, great. And in the meantime, though, however, we've shown you exactly what to do with the stew. Are there any final steps we need to do with that?
Yeah, so now we're going to add our McCain stew mix to it. So look at that, just swapping it out for me. Perfect.
I'm going to put this one in here. This is the one that you managed to let simmer for a really good amount of time.
Ooh, you can smell that.
It smells so yum.
So that's going to come back up to a simmer now. So Dan, you can go straight in with your stew mix. How great, we're using a 250-gram bag, but it also comes in a 600-gram bag.
Oh,
and
yummy.
again, use what you need and freeze the rest. This is perfect for our portion right now.
Cool. So this is a great way to get all of those vegetables into your diet at the same time. So let the stew cook down, let all those meat flavors get into that sauce, and then all of that just add at the last second.
Absolutely.
Stir
Just give that a stir. What's really great is the fact that it's been sourced locally, so it's local producers, and it gets blanched and flash frozen so fast that it locks in the texture, flavor, all the nutrients, so everything's in there, and also it doesn't need that long cooking period.
Yeah.
Really
These are
great.
one of those recipes you definitely want to save to obviously take with you into the winter seasons.
Perfect. And there's enough heat in there ready just to cook through those vegetables.
Delicious.
Talking about the vegetables, I've actually got some that are done in the microwave already.
Oh, lekker.
So let me grab that. So Dan, can you just pop these to the side? I'll bring out our beautiful...
I can do that. I cannot tell you, South Africa, how much this is smelling so good in the kitchen right now. Literally everything that has got going on in this pot right now is all things good for the nostrils, really.
It's so yummy. Look at that steam.
I think my tummy just made a little bit of a...
All right, cool. So Dan, I think it's time to plate up. Cool. So I've got a beautiful plate right here. I'm going to start plating up the rice first, obviously, and then you can do some stew for me.
Rice first. Yummy. This is such a nice, well-balanced meal. I think it's one thing that I miss about home cooking is making sure that you have a little bit of your starch in there, which is also very, and making it interesting, like this. And then obviously having your vegetable on the side, and then a delicious stew. Makes you miss home.
Great. So how about you get some of that
stew going there? It's like that.
Oh, look at the color.
Looks so good. Next, that's rice. This is a nice, whole, hearty family meal.
It
Delicious.
is. And then, of course, finishing off with our beautiful, beautiful mash. How good does that look? So steaming, delicious.
Delicious. Honestly completed in record time. Well done, Clem. Thank you so much for teaching us how to do this. Such a delicious dish in such a record time. We'll see you after this. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. It's a Monday, it's a motivational Monday, and I've been kind of scrolling through all of the trending hashtags that are on the moment on Twitter, and obviously besides Afternoon Express, one of the other trending hashtags is National Vegetarian Week.
Oh wow, that's really
interesting.
awesome.
But we're not actually going to be focusing on vegetarian meals today, except that we're making a lasagna that's got vegetarian details in it. It's no meat involved in that. And we're going to show you how to make a meat side to that. And basically, because you know you get these specials from Woolies, right? Is that what you're going to try and incorporate?
So how amazing that now you can get this awesome combo of the beautiful chicken breast that's been seasoned with mozzarella and spring onion.
You know, that's my favorite.
The pumpkin, which has been seasoned again.
Sweet potato, you mean?
What did I say? Yes, Dad. Sweet potato. The other one. Sweet potato that's beautifully seasoned with a cinnamon butter, which is so awesome because that just pops in the microwave. You get all the delicious cinnamon butter flavor in there in like minutes. And then we're going to end it off with a malva pudding.
Yummy. But not only that, you're going to be using this side dish to make something extravagant.
Exactly. So all I've done with the chicken breasts, I've literally just popped them in the oven and cooked them according to the packet instructions. I've taken the sweet potato.
Well done, you got it.
Potato. And I'm actually going to make something really, really cool with it. I'm going to create a veggie lasagna, which is something we don't often see.
It's awesome. Because obviously these dishes are made for family of four, and there's always that auntie or that uncle who decides, I've got a new boyfriend, new girlfriend, I'm bringing them along, like meet this person, or the neighbor's like, hey man,
really?
Can I come and join?
Coming to dinner at your house. I want to see all this action that happens.
I'm that guy in those families.
Oh, all right, cool. So exactly. So when that does happen, I'm going to teach you how to take one of the ingredients, which is our sweet potato, and use it in this veggie lasagna.
Let's go.
So let's get started. So, Dad, I'm going to need you to pass me some baby marrows, please. I love baby marrows, and besides the fact that people are using them now as pasta substitutes, by getting either the fine little ribbons or little spaghetti out of them, I actually like the flavor on its own.
As it is, yeah.
So,
I made skewers of them last night, in fact.
Yeah. So how did you have it last night?
On a kebab, a little sticky with a whole bunch of other veggies and some
not
chicken.
like that?
No.
No, great, because that's old and boring.
Medallions,
Don't do that. So what I'm doing is taking the end off and creating cute little shapes like that. I love doing this. You create more surface area in the pan when you're busy cooking. It means you get more searing.
Love it. And it looks different. It looks more interesting. It makes you feel like you're eating gourmet.
It is. So by adding more sear to the vegetable, you actually bring out more of its natural flavor, which is very, very important. So, do you want to give this technique a go?
I can.
Up like that?
That for you, just chop the tip off, right?
Yeah.
Like that. And then go like that. I don't know if I'm
doing
this correctly.
Perfect. You know what? That's cool.
I'm just going to do my thing. There we go.
That's what cooking is all about.
Making it your own. Must I do the last one?
Go for it.
Just in case.
So the marrow goes in, and a cool trick with marrows is to, well, actually not just marrows, but when you're sauteing off vegetables, is to actually season it. So can I get some salt? What the seasoning does is it brings out the natural moisture in the vegetable, and it cooks off beautifully, caramelizes while it becomes super, super soft.
Yummy.
Pepper I'm going to keep for the end. You know why?
Sorry. Why?
If you add pepper to the pan now, pepper's got oil in there. And the oil's going to turn bitter. You can end up with bitter pepper. Say that 10 times.
Bitter pepper.
We don't have time for that. Okay, cool. So I've got some red onion. I've just sliced that beautifully. I'm keeping the vegetables quite chunky, and that's really how you should be having your vegetables.
Because it's going to have to cook more than once anyway. It's cooking in the pan, then it's going to cook in the lasagna, so you want to get, get it done. Yeah.
The worst thing for me is when you're cooking vegetables and you overcook it. It loses all its nutrients and its texture and flavor. So why?
Exactly.
Don't do it. Just eat it raw.
These are all these kind of veggies that you could. You could,
absolutely. Even for this dish right now, you don't have to cook the onions and the marrow. You can put it in just like that.
Great.
So, what I've got, I'm going to let this continue cooking. I'm going to pop this over here. Perfect. And I'm going to bring over my pasta water. Because here's something you need to know. When you're cooking lasagna, especially when you're doing the traditional way with the bolognese sauce, there's a lot of long cooking involved. So you're going to cook your pasta sheets completely through. However, these vegetables don't need a lot of cooking, as we just said right now. So you want to blanch them first.
Okay, cool.
What do you know about that?
Blanching, I know, is basically with hot water, very quickly get it in there and then get it out there immediately to cool down.
I'm using these beautiful lasagna sheets.
How do you know? Because I've seen these in the shop. Some of them are pre-cooked, some of them aren't pre-cooked. What's the difference? Which ones do we choose?
And you also get the green ones and you get the red ones. It's absolutely up to you. So it's the flavor doesn't even change that much. The texture is just kind of like with those little hills and valleys. It's just to lock and hold onto the sauce. These are perfectly fine.
Great.
So it goes into some boiling salted water, literally for about 3 minutes.
And they come out looking like
that. And they come out looking beautiful like this.
They're ready to rock and roll.
So obviously if you're buying fresh lasagna sheets, you don't need to do this because it's quite soft already. It'll only take like 2 minutes to cook anyway.
Yummy.
So this is just if it's dry. So when we come back, Dan, I'm going to cook it off. We start layering with this bad guy. We've got some sun-dried tomato pecorino sauce instead of making a tomato sauce.
Okay.
And we've got a fresh cheese sauce instead of making our bechamel.
Delicious. So get all these ingredients ready and SMS the keyword E2333650. It'll cost you $150 and those free SMSs don't apply. Don't worry, we'll send you all the details to your mobile device and I'll remind you once again later on in the show how to get that keyword and all those details on your mobile device. Now, as if we haven't made enough decadent food on the show today, it's time for another installment of Afternoon Explores. A little while back, I got the chance to check out some of the hottest spots in Soweto. And last time I rode a bike through the neighborhood and jumped off the towers. This time, though, it's all about the local food. And I met up with some guys who are taking classics to the next level. In foodie terms, when you think of Durban, you think of the Bunny Chow. When you think of Cape Town, you think of the Gatsby. So when it comes to Gautengeling, the one thing that comes to mind has to be the infamous Kota. Today I'm in Soweto to meet two young entrepreneurs, and being a foodie and an entrepreneur myself, these two are bound to be a recipe for success. Man, it's so cool to meet you guys. I've never actually heard of Kotas, so where did they originate?
Well, the kota is a Gauteng delicacy, which is derived from the word quarter. So you take a quarter of a loaf of bread and you grovel up the white part of the bread, and then that is used as your cap, and then the inside bit is for your fillings.
And the fillings have actually quite evolved over the years. So when my mom used to eat kotas as a baby, she told me that they used to add like liver spread into the kota. But now people put in chips and meats and all these other ingredients to add a bit more flavor into the kota. And then Soweto, there's so many of these tuck shops that sell a variety of things, and the kota is one of the main things that they sell.
So this one's a traditional Gasi style one. As you can see, you put in all the meats. You got the Vienna there, that's your polony, your special, the cheese, what's a kota without cheese. And the chips, obviously you spice it up. I mean, you don't have to, some don't, some do.
Well, the voice said I've got a big mouth, it's time to prove it.
What do you think?
Yum, all the flavors are there. Terrible for the heart. Perfect for a hangover.
You should come check us out.
Welcome to our first Kotas Kings store here at 94 Jutta Street.
How did you and Loyiso end up meeting?
Well, it's funny you ask. We're actually going for the same girl. We were in varsity together. And then neither one of us got the girl. As business partners, I think it was just an organic process. We partnered together in our previous trucking business, and eventually we diversified, sold off the assets, and went strictly into a space we actually passionate about, and we saw a huge gap in the market.
A friend of ours shared an article about a certain dairy company that supplies cheese to the Kota market in the townships. Right? And according to that article, they said they sell about 1 billion slices of cheese annually. And we sat down and we thought to ourselves, wow, this is incredible. Right? And we went around studying the market ourselves. So we then decided to start our own Kotas Kings. And we started off by renting a kitchen in Soweto, then we rented a kitchen in Braamfontein, just to test our market and to see if there's really a need for what you're doing.
Yeah, we went for the jugular.
And in terms of the hopes that we've got for the business, we're hoping to obviously set up quite a number of stores moving forward. So we're really excited about it.
What would be your advice for other young entrepreneurs who are energetic and want to do the same?
You have to make sure that whatever idea you have is scalable. Right? And from then onwards, you have to find a partner, someone who shares the same vision with you. Then from then onwards, you have to do all the admin work, registering the company with the taxes and all those things. Then get a mentor to get some feedback from them. You get to learn from them so you can avoid some of the mistakes that a lot of entrepreneurs then fall into. So from then onwards, it takes heart, it takes grit, it takes a lot of hard work. But you just have to keep on keeping on until you make it. You have to make it work.
Now, I clearly remember you guys saying that your kotas were better than the ones we tasted earlier. So should we have a try?
Chavo, please bring that kota there.
Wow, yum. Well, there you have it. The entrepreneurship journey isn't easy, but it is most definitely rewarding, especially when it has to do with food. And I love sitting down with young people doing incredibly inspiring things with their lives. Maybe you've been inspired to start your own business. Go on, bite into it. It might be just what you're looking for.
Really good, eh? That's how Kotas should taste like.
Oh, don't you just want one now?
I'm literally salivating.
Yeah.
I'll do anything for that.
I'm dying.
now.
I want one right now.
It was so cool because, you know, kotas are one of those things you buy from a lot of the cafes and things. It's quite it's a street food almost like equivalent. And then they've kind of turned it into this middle class kind of feel which they've got for it. The entrepreneurs in that district, I walked past hundreds of shops, are so amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
it looks incredible.
I'm honestly still salivating.
Yeah, it is so yum.
That looked so delicious. That was worth every little bit of calorie.
I've already asked them to courier them. I've asked them to courier those calories to me at home because tonight I'm going to be sitting down in front of my TV. I just don't want to do anything. I want to eat my kota and I just want to watch TV.
Why don't you make one? Try make one.
I should actually. We should do that on the show at some point. But I'm going to sit down tonight. I'm going to have it while I watch Tropica tonight. And so much to happen because I think there's bounties happening this evening.
No elimination tonight. It's the bounty challenge. Of course, last week Caroline and Vim were not eliminated. And I'm so bleak. I loved watching Vim every week.
How cool was your dance on the show? I saw you two sulking together. It was so much fun.
I went, I've danced with an Afrikaner or two in my day.
Oh, wow. Okay. And also tonight
you
sokied, lang-armed.
Yeah, lang-armed.
So tonight there's a bit of a twist that tests the contestants' loyalty.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you want another sneak peek, take a look.
Absolutely.
Tonight on Tropica, Island of Treasure, Seychelles. The contestants have to dig deep in the bounty challenge as the game gets a very special twist.
No flippin' ways.
No one expected something like that.
This cannot be happening.
With loyalty being tested, this bounty challenge might not float everyone's boat.
Just don't listen to him. He's bamboozling you.
Tropica, Island of Treasure, Seychelles. Tonight at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. You see this little... I must push out my boop on the show today. It's all because of you, Clem. We've had Kotas Kings on the show. We've eaten kotas. We've seen what they're like. We've sort of indulged them. We've made a stew. And now crumb chicken. I need a moment.
You can leave if you want.
Whew. Okay, we're halfway through making our lasagna on the show today. He's made a veggie lasagna with our chicken that we're going to do on the side as well. So what's left to be done? Because...
we're going to start assembling this
keep
bad
going.
boy. And it's actually really easy. It looks so impressive at the end. I'm going to show you. But I want to show you also how easy it is to put together right now. So let's start off with our... is it a tomato sauce? I said we're going to go with the sun-dried tomato pecorino sauce, which is full of flavor.
And it's pre-made, which is awesome.
It is. But it tastes... you can... this is... literally, I haven't even cooked it yet. And it smells so intense. You can smell the pecorino.
Yeah. It's almost got like, you know, a sun-dried tomato's got a just slightly different flavour to normal cooked tomatoes. It's definitely got that flavour in there, which is nice and different.
It's quite
creamy.
intense. So you can see what I'm doing is start creating a bit of layer, sort of like a layering effect. I mean, that's what lasagna is, isn't it?
Yeah, a whole bunch of layers on sauce on layers on sauce.
So let's start with that, and then I'm going to go with one of my cooked lasagna sheets. And then, Dan, if you can pass the sweet potato and the baby spinach.
Cool. There you go.
I'm just going to add this.
So these sweet potatoes, by the way, if you guys have just tuned in, early on in the show, we got these popped into the oven. Basically, they cook really quickly from the packet that you guys can buy at Woolies, like that. And then we've got the chicken in the oven already, just getting done and dusted. It takes, I think, 25 or 40 minutes or something, or 30 minutes to get cooked.
And these went in the microwave. How easy is that?
So that's quick.
Cool. So some baby spinach, that's going to cook down perfectly.
Cool.
There we go. And then I've got some fresh cheese sauce. That'll be delicious.
Where's that? Over here.
There we go. Super easy. You do that.
So this is instead of like a white sauce, you're using a cheese
Exactly.
sauce.
And the flavors are so intense again.
So instead of a bechamel, what do you call it? Bechamel?
A bechamel?
Bechamel.
Isn't
like
that an actress?
Zoe Bechamel. That's what her name is, Zoe Bechamel. She's as pale, is it? So it kind of
my
works.
word, yes. Okay, I didn't agree. So there we go. Some beautiful sheets going down. Dan, again, let's keep on going. So
more of
there you
that.
go.
More of these guys.
Ooh, I won't burn you.
Don't burn me.
Cool.
Cool, like that.
So,
this is going to be so yum in the end. I'm excited.
So let's have a look. So we're looking like we're almost at the top of the dish.
Color.
I'm going to go with some more pecorino sauce.
I'm going to go with more cheese sauce.
But what I like doing is perfect.
Yummy.
The way I like finishing it off is adding some more lasagna sheets to it.
Oh, and then you're going to crispy outside.
Yeah.
Because one of the
Will you
worst things in
drizzle
lasagna is you've got dry edges. So to make sure that you get enough sauce and things along the edges, it's the worst to get. Although those nice crunchy, crispy little edge pieces once they've gone into the oven, and that's cheese like that.
There we go.
This is a good way to describe it.
So let
this
me actually,
part, my favorite. That there.
It is.
Oh, yes,
it is.
please.
So let me actually show you how you get that perfect crust in it.
Okay.
So like I said, lasagna sheets go down. Then I've got some of that sauce.
More cheese sauce.
Yeah. This is how you finish it off to get that crust.
That's crispy outside.
Yummy. There we go.
Cool.
Just like that. And you want to spread it out at this stage so you got that even crust in it. But you're still going to have little ends like that that are going to go super crispy.
We want that to happen, yes.
So that's what you got. You take some pecorino.
Pecorino. If you don't have pecorino, you can use
Parmigiano. If you don't have that,
you can use nothing else because it will not sound, it won't be yum.
You can use breadcrumbs.
No, but it won't have the flavor then, Clem. You agree, right?
Oh, my word.
Just won't have the flavor.
Oh, my word. Cool. So that's going to go into the oven, literally half an hour. It's going to come out looking as amazing as this guy. That's all for you to take home, Dan.
Bellissimo.
And of course, we've got to serve it with our beautiful crispy chicken and our malva pudding.
Ta-da! Dinner is served. 3 meals on Afternoon Express today. You are getting one absolute treat. If you missed any of the steps on how to make these delicious meals on Afternoon Express, here's a quick recap.
I mean, you guys are absolutely doing my head in today. Firstly, I'm salivating because of the kota, and now this.
I know, and this is so good, guys. It's just fresh out of the oven. Ooh, that's nice and warm.
That Kotta unraveled you. You haven't been okay since that incident.
I don't even know how to cut like lasagna nicely.
Are you keen to join me to go to Soweto? We'll do a little girls'
my
tour.
hood, babe.
Yeah, let's go. Done.
Can I just say, guys, this is one of the biggest life questions you always have to ask. Are you a crispy edge kind of person or in a softie?
I'm totally a crispy edge kind of person.
Like it, okay.
I mean, the fact that you even had to ask me that, I'm a little bit confused. Like, do you not know me?
I think, yes.
Yeah. Never really been a lasagna person.
What?
You know, but then there's chicken
There's
for you
chicken
as well.
there for you, girl.
No, the thing is, I've never really tried it.
Gosh, I don't even know how to cut
You've
lasagna.
never tried lasagna?
Yeah, it looks mushy and...
No, then
Cool.
today's a good day as any. And this is probably the best that you'll ever try. So
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, well,
Are you a crispy, edgy person?
Yeah, let's go
Let's
for
go.
it.
I'll give it a little bit, so then you can... Oh, there we
So
go.
what can we look forward
Taste it.
to in the coming year for you?
I'm gonna delve into a little bit of fashion.
Yes. I love pretty
Lekker.
things.
I'm gonna have to give you this one. Listen, ladies and gents, tomorrow's going to be an awesome show. But before we get into telling you what's going to be there, because you have to stay tuned to. If you want all the details on this, you need to SMS the keyword EAT to 33650. You'll get a reaction like this if you SMS that keyword. It'll cost you R1.50. Free SMSs don't apply.
We'll be back again tomorrow with Bus and Sana Kamala on the show. Until then, good night and happy eating.
Happy eating.
Ciao.
Woo! Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we catch up with influential businesswoman Sana Kumalo, who has recently featured with her sister Joanna Mukoki on the cover of Destiny magazine as role models to young women in South Africa. That and so much more on Afternoon Express tomorrow, live at 4 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Another feel-good production.